really happy to be here today to tell you a little bit about this wonderful little cruise line called Azamara Cruises. Now, Azamara has been around for quite some time. We are pioneers of destination immersion and small ship cruising. So I'm going to enlighten you about some fabulous bits about sailing with Azamara and give you a little insight as to what things are like on board as well. So first of all, really to talk about the ships, but I'm not going to spend too much time on that. But we have four small ships. They take 700 passengers each. And the really nice thing about Azamara is it's quite easy to choose what ship you would like to sail on, and because all four ships are pretty much identical. They take the same amount of guests, approximately 700. They've got the same amount of each category of stateroom in each. And I have to say, although they're smaller ships, they really have everything that the bigger ships have to offer, but it's just on a much smaller and more intimate scale than those big ships. Now, as I said, all four ships are pretty much identical. There's a couple of little tweaks on them, but the main aspect of why you would choose a particular ship is all down to the itinerary that you choose to go on and the destinations that you want to visit. Now, with smaller ship cruising, there comes some really great added benefits that you wouldn't get with sailing on the bigger ships, and that is that they're kind of perfectly sized to really sail across oceans, sail into up rivers, across scenic waterways, and the main thing is that they get to dock at locations that the bigger ships can't possibly reach. So with that in mind, what we're allowing you to do is really to be able to spend a lot more time in port, because we can get right into those smaller ports rather than having a transfer time either side. So as I say, small ship sailing is a fantastic way to see the world, because we're not only getting up those rivers like into the centre of Seville or Bordeaux, or I can give you some other examples later on, but we can also sail across oceans. So if you're just looking for a simple transatlantic sailing or a repositioning sailing, or you want to go a little bit further afield, that's something that Azamara can do as well. I'm going to touch on a little video here just so you can get an idea of what we're all about. And I think this video really epitomises what's behind Azamara and what our core values are in order to provide you, our guest, the best cruising experience that you can have. Azamara, as she is just perfectly in that video, spending longer in port, docking in small ports, doing country intensive voyages, staying in port longer and later and overnight. And really what will happen is when you sail with Azamara, you really get to see those destinations, not just for a few hours during the day when you're jumping off the ship and then back on again for 3 o'clock in the afternoon to sail away. We, Azamara, spend longer in port than any other cruise line. So we sail slowly through the night, arrive early morning around 7 o'clock in the morning, and we're sometimes and very often not leaving until 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night, and very often an overnight stay as well. So you really are getting the benefit of small ship sailing and also that destination immersion, just giving you the opportunity to really spend so much more time in in port than you normally would have, because we're taking out the transfer times either side of that. So this is a great little slide because it tells you really how we do this. We get to dock where others can't. That's not just the bigger ships, but a lot of the time we dock in unrivaled ports that no other ships go to. We also make that experience of cruising with the Azamara such a relaxed and unrushed experience. As I said a minute ago, you're not running off the ship trying to see what you can in that destination, rushing back onto the ship before it sails away again. No, we're there for late nights, for overnights, and you just really have that unrushed experience. You can get on and off the ship because we're so close to port as many times as you want. You can have your breakfast, get off, have a wander about. Let's take Nice as an example. Have a wander about Nice Old Town, which is where we dock in the heart of, and then back on for lunch again, and then off again in the afternoon if you prefer. Have another tour in the afternoon, back on again for dinner, and because we're not leaving till 10 o'clock that night, maybe you're off again at night. So you're really getting to see what these destinations, see them come to life at night. Places look different at night, don't they? They look really different. You've got the locals come out after work, sitting having a cocktail, looking out to sea, sitting in the port town. Absolutely a different way of cruising and a different way to see those destinations. We also at Azamara really pride ourselves in bringing the destinations to life, not only on board, but also by introducing some really true, authentic cultural experiences, which we call at Azamara as amazing evenings or as amazing events. Now, there is an as amazing evening on every cruise over 8 nights. It's over 8 nights or longer. And these are complimentary, bespoke, traditional, cultural events that Azamara have curated, 2 years in the making. They've curated them, put them together, worked with local tourists, local tourist boards, entertainers, beautiful venues where we take everybody off the ship, all guests and some senior officers and captain too, off the ship to this event that's been put on absolutely solely for our guests. These are not experiences you can buy, you can't buy tickets for. They are exclusive to Azamara, and as I say, we've curated them from the beginning. So we really, really put as much effort into these things as we possibly can, bringing that destination to life in many different ways. Now, because we stay later in port as well, we really have the opportunity to bring local entertainment onto the ship. So we have some fantastic signature shows on the ship, but we also like to bring the destination to life on the ship as well. So we can bring local entertainments on. They can come on, they can do a show and then be off the ship before we sail again at maybe, as I say, 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And very often during the day, we will bring the destination to life as well. If we're on Bordeaux, you might walk out from having breakfast and we've got a French market on board, baguettes and cheese and French music and wine and accordions, and the crew are dressed up with their stripes and their onions. So really, really bringing every aspect of the destination to life as we possibly can, and that includes having it involved with the food as well that we're serving on board. Depending on where we are, we're trying to bring the destination to everything that we do. So this is a great way of showing you how close we actually get to port. You can see here that's the ship in Marseille. The bottom one is bottom left is Nice. We're right in the heart of the old town. You walk off the ship into the centre of town. Another really what we're infamous for is in Monte Carlo. We dock there in Monte Carlo. There's no transfer times. We're not docking in Nice. So wherever possible, we're in the centre of Monte Carlo. You're walking off the ship along the promenade. You open your balcony and you're looking onto these amazing super yachts in front of you. You can see the quay stand from where the ship ship docks where the Grand Prix, the main part of the Grand Prix is viewed. Walk off the ship, along the promenade, up the little stairs, and you're at the casino and the Café de Paris and all these amazing places right on your doorstep, and so close that you can get on and off the ship as many times as you want. And then my favourite image here is Trapani in Sicily. We got a very close to that in a recent trip we did to Nice, where the ship is literally at the end of the street in the old town. So it really is a case of, we get as close to the centre of the ports that you want to visit. At the end of the day, that's why you've chosen that itinerary as well. So I mentioned a bit about As Amazing Evenings, and I think this is a lovely image of this is a personal photo that I took of our As Amazing Evening in Ephesus in Turkey. So our stop had been Kusadasi, and we were taken off the ship. We were taken on a coach to Ephesus, this part of the amphitheatre. This amphitheatre was closed off just for Azamara guests. The Azamara crew had cushioned all of the stone, so we had something nice and soft under our bottoms. We had a diversity choir on, which was in support of Ukraine at the time. It was just phenomenal. The sun is setting. The local artists and musicians are there. The atmosphere is just quite unbelievable, and I have to say these As Amazing Evenings are goosebump experiences. They really are once in a lifetime wows that you just think, wow, I can't believe I'm actually here and part of this. So that's just an example of one of many that we do depending on the destination. We also, Azamara, are also infamous for our white night parties. Again, one on every cruise. Fabulous evenings, certainly a buzz about the ship on the run up to this night. The ship's pool deck is decked in white, the tables are white, the linen tablecloths. We have live music, the buffet is to absolutely die for. And it really is a phenomenal night on board. So make sure if you're booking Azamara that you take a white night outfit for this phenomenal night. It really is the best night at sea. Again, just about the destination. So I said that we can get really close into ports, and we go to unrivaled ports that other ships don't visit or can't visit at all. This particular picture on the bottom left is a little island in the Greek islands called Monemvasia. It is absolutely spectacular. It's tiny. We're tendered just there, and you just walk across the causeway to this lovely, unusual little island. I have to say, one of my favourite spots. I always give a good example for Azamara as well. So there's a lot of you that will have cruised many times before, whether it be on bigger ships or smaller ships as well. But we try at Azamara, we might have several different Greek intensive voyages, for example, throughout the summer, which are very, very popular. And these could be Athens round trips, or they could be Venice to Athens, it could be Athens, Istanbul. So they vary from embarkation to debark points. But I had done, and I always think it's good to give a personal example. I have sailed 4 Greek island cruises with Azamara. You would think that I would be seeing the same places each time. No. On my 4th one that I did last year, it was a 10-night cruise, 10 ports of call, and 6 of those ports of call out of the 10 I had never visited before, despite sailing on 3 Greek intensives already with Azamara. So even if you've been to a destination before, it doesn't mean that you've been to the ports that Azamara are going to. So make sure you really look at the itineraries with Cruise Kings and Stuart Travel. Make sure you have a look at them, you talk through them, because it may well be that although you've done the Amalfi Coast, although you've done the Greek Islands, although you've done South Africa, Caribbean, wherever it may be, you may not have done quite a few of the ports that are in some of our itineraries. So make sure you have a good look at them. So what to expect on board Azamara? Exceptional dining and service. Well, of course, we all love to shout about how fabulous our food is, but we really do have some fantastic dining experiences on board. There's several different options to dine in. You have the main buffet restaurant, which is Windows, which is also open for dinner in the evening, which many people use rather than the main dining room. Now, if you've ever sailed on bigger ships, buffets maybe not the most relaxed experience. With Azamara, there's no queuing. It's a beautiful sized ship. It's table service in the evenings from your wine, and your drinks as well are table service, so there's no self-service on any aspect of that. But it is open breakfast, lunch and dinner for the buffet, and there's a beautiful outdoor area to sit as well if you'd prefer to eat al fresco. We've also got the main dining room, which is Discoveries. I have to say at this point as well, there's no set dining times. You can just walk up to the restaurant anytime that you like, and the maitre d' will sort out some seating for you. No set dining times, no formal evenings on Azamara, and no strict dress codes either. Obviously everyone makes that effort, but no strict dress codes on there as well. So you've got the Discoveries main dining room, Windows Cafe, the patio, which is the pool bar and grill, which is open day and evening as well. Then you have the Mosaic Cafe, and you also have two speciality dinings as well, which are Aquilina and Prime Sea. So they are included if you're a suite guest, and a small supplement of $49 if you are a non-suite guest. Enrichment programme and classes, depending on where we are, we always offer these on all of our cruises. They're very destination led, depending on where we are, and these can be a lecture series, programmes, classes. As I say, depending on the region that we're sailing through will depend on what these classes and enrichment programmes are around. And I just want to talk about the atmosphere on board as well. It really is a very laid back, relaxed, non-stuffy ambience on board. Because we don't rush and we're spending a lot more time in port, 80% of our time is spent in port with Azamara, and only 20% is spent at sea. And out of that, just about half of that, we're either an overnight or a late night stay. So as I said, and I can emphasize enough, there's no rushing at all. There's some fabulous places to relax and unwind on board, and the convenient docking really helps that relaxation and non-rushing and back to the ship, because you can walk in and out of port. So there's the pool decks, there's the patio, there's a beautiful fitness suite and spa on board as well. A fantastic fitness suite on board for the size of the ship. There's the library, there's the Atlas bar if you're not onward. There's beautiful different areas to relax, but the ambience in the ship is that of a home from home. It's friendly, the crew are impeccable, they just are amazing, and our NPS scores and our customer feedback is phenomenal. We hope that you'll come on and try Azamara for the first time. That's what I'm hoping you'll do. That's what Cruise Kings and Stuart Travel are also hoping that you will do. But once you get on one of these Azamara ships, you will at no doubt come back and want to book again, because the crew will make that experience unforgettable for you. They'll have your coffee waiting for you and ready to be prepared as they see you walking along to Mosaic Cafe to get your morning coffee. You'll get to know the crew by name, and of course they'll know you by name within a couple of days. But the real thing is you will get to know them as well, which makes Azamara a very special place. So just before we finish up, it's always good to say what's included. All of what's always included as standard with Azamara Cruises is obviously your variety of dining venues and room service is all included. All your drinks, be it international beers, wines, spirits, cocktails, are included as well, from the minute you embark the ship to the minute you debark the ship. So not just with meals, all the time. You will have bar service around the sun deck in every restaurant, table service and around the sun deck as well. So you've got that at all times. Your tips and gratuities are already included as well. So there's no worries about or concerns about having a bill you hit with a bill with tips or gratuities at the end of your cruise. Our cultural events, as in As Amazing Evenings, are also included. And there's also, which is sometimes people think, why are you mentioning laundry when we're talking about cruising? But it is very popular. It's great to have that laundry service available and included there as well. There's no hassle, no crowds. We don't do a pre-check-in, just check in at the port because there is never any crowds and it's not crowded. We've obviously got those unique and iconic destinations for you to visit and our overnight and extended destination days in many of the ports that we go to. So you really are getting something unusual and different when you sail with Azamara. I can't say enough about our crew. Our crew are worshipped by the rest of the company. They are the heart and soul of what we do at Azamara, and I think, you know, I always like to give them a massive shout out because the job that they do to make your cruise unforgettable is absolutely phenomenal. They are a great bunch on all four ships.
Hi there, my name's Sam. I'm one of the cruise experts here. I'm here to talk to you today about 3 of the amazing offers that we've currently got with Azamara Cruises. The first one is a Mediterranean and Monaco Grand Prix. That's on the 21st of May next year. It's a 5-night cruise with a 1-night pre-cruise stay in Barcelona. You'll sail from Barcelona through Marseille, Saint-Tropez, Nice, where you'll be on the Sunday for the final of the Grand Prix, and then back into Barcelona where the ship will overnight before flying you back home to the UK. For this package, for an inside cabin, you'll look at a total cost of £2,099 per person, and for the balcony, that'll be £2,349 per person. With that, you'll also receive $400 onboard spend. And just to give you a little idea, a night stay in Monaco, you're looking at about £2,000 per person. So to get a 5-night cruise with a night stay in Barcelona, return flights from the UK from £2,099 per person, it is an exceptionally good offer. Now, the second offer that we've got for you here is a Croatia intensive cruise on board the Azamara Pursuit. Looking at the 10th of July next year, we'll fly you out to Athens for a 2-night stay. And the ship will sail from Athens through Kotor, Montenegro, Dubrovnik, Korčula, Split, Šibenik, Zadar, Pula, and then finishing up in Venice. Now, the ship will actually overnight in Venice before you fly home. So you'll get 2 days and 1 night there in Venice to see and experience what it has to offer. You'll also get to see Dubrovnik, like I mentioned, the Old Town, and in Šibenik, you'll get to experience the major wine producing regions there. Now, for an inside cabin with this package, you're looking at a cost of $2,499 per person, and the balconies, they'll start from $3,199 per person. You do have your return flights from the UK included with that, as well as all your transfers throughout. And the third and final offer that we've got for you today is a South Africa, Islands and Mauritius package. That'll be on board the Azamara Pursuit again, and this is based on the 12th of November next year. We'll fly you out to Cape Town for a 2-night pre-cruise stay. You'll then have a 13-night cruise from Cape Town through to Mauritius. And then once in Mauritius, you'll have a 5-night all-inclusive stay in an adults-only hotel. The cruise will call into Port Elizabeth, which is a fantastic port for game drives, into Durban with its golden sandy beaches. Richards Bay, you'll be able to see and experience some of the world's most amazing exotic wildlife. Then into Madagascar, which has got the most amazing mountains, beaches and waterfalls. Now for this package for an inside cabin, you're looking at a cost of $4,499 per person. In the balconies, they'll be starting from $5,699 per person. Again, that'll include your return flights from the UK, all of your transfers, your 2 nights in Cape Town, and your 5 nights all-inclusive adults only stay in Mauritius. You will also receive $500 onboard spend with that. And as well, remember with Azamara, your drinks and your tips are already included. So that $500 you can use towards any excursions if you're wanting to do any of the game drives out there in Port Elizabeth, or if you're wanting to treat yourself to some spa treatments or anything from the boutiques on board. Now, these deals are really amazing and we do anticipate them to sell out. Please do get in touch with myself and the rest of the Azamara Cruise experts here and we can get you all booked up.